Hello, greetings. This is Gillesmansillon. I thought I'd come and speak again today about the spiritual ascension path, for that is the mission of what I'm talking about right now on this channel, to speak about spiritual things and spiritual attitudes, spiritual processes. For life is beyond, it is a process, so we have to get on with the program, whatever soul programmation we have to get on with it. For I'm going through my own process, you're going through your own process, everybody else is going through their own process. We have to tune in to tune into the intelligence of our soul and our higher self in order to be in the flow of life. For when we struggle against the flow, we're trying to get to the source, but the source, so we're struggling against the flow of our creation. We have to let go and let flow. We'll find the source when we reach the ocean, the great ocean of love that is at the bottom of the flow. And so I'm going to pull a few cards for guidance for the day, for past, present, from the angels. So the past is indulgence, the present is humility, and the future is justice. So there will be balance, there will be equilibrium. Always ask for divine justice. For when you ask God for divine justice, everything comes back into order. For it is the discordance come from the ego, from the lack of connection to the higher source, for we all have, for what we're working on right now is rejoicing. And what will come in the future as a result of that is temperance, is to be able to become master of ourselves. It's about finding the point of balance, of equilibrium, where we feel dominant over our lower self. For temperance is really about finding the balance between the yin and the yang within, to transmute the energy into the unity of all. For in a sense, source, for those who may understand or comprehend, to understand that God knows all. Source, God, creator, no matter how we conceive of that creator, source knows all. From the beginning to the end. It knows everything. There is not a single detail that God does not know, but he also knows everything about us. He knows where we come from, he knows where we're going, he knows our strengths, he knows our weaknesses, he knows our past, he knows everything. And therefore we need to trust that this and God is the highest part of ourselves. It exists within us, for God is within us, and we exist within him or her. And so, but it is within us that we make the connection, of course. And so we have to understand that is the most sacred part of ourselves, the most beautiful part of ourselves, and everybody's got this God self, but yet God will never impose his will upon any of his creatures. We have to choose to allow this understanding, this consciousness to interact with us, and slowly but surely to align us, to sit us within this higher consciousness. And since he knows everything about us, and he knows everything about everything else, it knows exactly what is right for us, because something that could be paradise for us may be hell for somebody else. But so it is about understanding where God wants you to. God always wants to bring you to your highest potential, your highest joy. For truth is the only happiness is the only truth, and this is where we are led towards this freedom, this happiness. For when we focus on source, we focus on paradise, we focus on the perfect balance and the perfect situation outside of our own imagination. For imagination is very powerful. We have to use and utilize our imagination to continue to create our life, to enrich our life with the best of all possibilities. Yet at some point we need to surround her, and because God understands all those things, the source and our guides and our higher self, and our soul family, they understand, and they will utilize the best of all with what we've created through our imagination to place it in temporal experience. So we got to trust. And to work with this inner source, to create links, to create communication, telepathic communication, so that we can fully be guided at any point, any time. And from there, we'll always receive the right energy at the right moment within the here and now. We never need to understand or to get the wisdom before it's necessary. We need it when we need it, and then once we receive it, we applied it, we can let it go. New guidance will be coming in the next moment of now. It's about learning to live in the now. I know I'm gonna have to but not to compromise, but to put a little water in my wine, so to speak, when I do my project, in order to to include more people in the process. It's the same thing in diplomacy. When you work in diplomacy, you have to make a few little compromises so that everybody to consider the sensitivity of all beings that are present within the situation, so that you can find the point of balance and equilibrium where everybody feels that we're going to be moving into this win-win situation, the common ground. Right now, many people, and whether it's in business or politics, they feel like they have to crush everybody else in order to win, so that they win and everybody else lose. But it will no longer be like that in the new age. There is always a way that everybody can win. Can be a win-win situation where it feels so much. Once we connect, you're conscious of the unity of life. You do not want anybody to lose as a result of your winning. You want everybody to win with you, to become one with that. So this is like a great shift of consciousness. We're going to be creating this, we want to work on creating a grid, a visualization of this grid, of planetary grid. Visualize the planet within the light and see all the light workers holding hands and creating this grid, so we can start working with each other on an energetic level. And then see all this grid being supported by divine light, divine love, and to be fully inclusive of all. Then include all planets, all animals, all plants, all trees in that. Includes the inner Earth and the galactics above, and then expand your vision with that. It's good to work with those visions. We want to work with the 12 ray of divine light, the whiteness, the golden white light of the Christ, the golden white light of Creator light. For it is a very loving, protective, healing energy. So it's about working. We have to learn to work with all the frequencies of light. Personally, I'm working in a specific frequency that is white and yellow. But it comes naturally when I'm ready, but it's very pure, very, very intense energy. For there is all the frequencies of life have to be integrated, and eventually our soul will guide us to the proper frequency. For within all frequencies of light, all colors of light, or the 12 red, there is need for service within each of the rays. So you want to tune in. I don't know if you already know what is the frequency of your light that you're going to ascend into, but there is a specific frequency that your soul already knows that. There is no need to push for ascension. As soon as you decided and you're working towards that, it may not come rapidly, but it will come surely. Just got to breathe and relax, surrender, let go. Let go of resistance and congratulate yourself for being, for having done all the works that you've done in order to reach that point. Understanding that God is in all situations. So every situation, every being, there is God. So ask the angel to put their energy into the situation so it flows more smoothly. For God is the mover, the shaker of all things. And think of God in any situation. Ask for divine order, and the light will shine. The situation will come into harmonization. For we want to make the thoughts of God, the thoughts of our higher self, our own thoughts. Because every other thought from the ego is like negative thoughts, are like statics that prevents us from experiencing this divine energy. And so for the physical body is the most vulnerable of all the bodies we have, and it's often being etheric body is been injured because of our negative thoughts. For negative thoughts will create negative emotion, will create illness on the physical plane. So we want to purify our mind so that our motion will be lighter, and the causal body will be able to create cause and effect that will heal the body, the physical body. And we have to allow our mind, our physical brain to follow this higher flow of fifth dimensional light energy into the fifth dimension, rather than to be subjected to the lower realm of the physical, the dualistic world. And so to understand also that God is always calling on you, so just respond to the call. God will never impose his will on any of his creatures. It has to come from personal choice, to invoke that source, to remember that source within. It may not come like this, it takes a while, but trust that once you engage in the process, it's like a train. You will be embarked on the God is the fulfiller of desires, and God is the creator of desires. So we want to follow our desires in order to find the fulfillment of that desire. But we want to find the one who creates the desire and the fulfillment. The fulfillment of desires are are important, but they are not essential. For once you find God, you find the total fulfillment of all desires beyond any expectations. You want to shine the light that God gave you. You want to use the love. You were created in infinite love, so you want to become that love that God created you with, and bless yourself. Happiness is the truth. There is no other form of happiness. There is no truth. Is always goes through joy and freedom and happiness. For that is how we were created. So I just want to come and talk about those things. I'm going to pull a few cards from the Akash. The highest wisdom for us is letting go of the persecution and the inquisition. We want to be free of all the mental programming that is creating all these statics within all this the dystopia that they're trying to create. What we want to understand is figure of authority. We want to allow ourselves to become a figure of authority in acknowledging the higher wisdom that comes from our soul and spirit. What we need to do is Egypt. We want to become master of ourselves. We want to take control of the Akash, activate the pyramids of light. Connect to your pyramid of light. There is a pyramid of light. You can always go project your consciousness, fifth dimensional pyramid, crystal pyramid of light above your head, and they're connected in networks to higher pyramids of light. They automatically rise up when you're ready. And within this pyramid of light, there is no interference. You only your guide, your higher guides, the archangels or your creator that can connect with you. Visualize it as a crystal pyramid. It's an etheric planes, and it connects to the cities of light. And the outcome is the trees. The trees are growing. They are growing. They're very solidly anchored within the earth. They're getting the nourishment from the earth, and they're also getting they're getting two forms of nourishment from the root, water from the root, and the light from the sun. For they are photoelectric. So we want to connect to the light of the sun as well. And we want to be growing, accepting that we're growing. Life is never like a radical change. It's always like when you see nature, it goes very slowly, but surely everything moves forward. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. In French, I sang the song that was more. That was called the Song of Victory, but here I'm going to sing a more romantic song. Here behind me is a little painting. I'm going to do a whole series of them. This is a symbolic painting about the goddess Metis. She's the mother of Athena. She's the goddess of wisdom. So it's a symbolic painting, very small, but I'm going to keep doing that. And here it's a painting about the 15 major planets of the solar system, but there is like Nibiru. Here there is Pax, which is Maldek, that was destroyed, it's crossed over. So there's all the major planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Chiron, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, Saturn. But on top of which there is Ceres, there is Vesta, there is Juno, there is Pallas Athena, and Lilith, the darker archetypes of the wild woman. Sometimes we want to disregard sometimes all the darker archetypes. I'm going to pull one more card at the end. I'm sorry, I sing a song, a more romantic song, just to finish in music. It goes like this. You're just too good to be true. I can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. Oh, I wanna hold you so much. As long as love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true, and I can't take my eyes off you. Pardon the way that I stare, there's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak, there are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true, and I can't take my eyes off of you. I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to warm my lonely night. I love you, baby, trust in me when I say, oh, pretty baby, don't bring me down, I pray. Oh, pretty baby, now that I found you, stay and let me love you, baby. Let me love you. You're just too good to be true, and I can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. Oh, I wanna hold you so much. As long as love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true, and I can't take my eyes off of you. Voilà, je vous remercie. I thank you very much for sticking till the end. It's a beautiful romantic song. I like romantic songs. I think it's a celebration of love. For what is more precious in life than to celebrate love? And the card of the day is the Two of Gabriel. Be daring and make ambitious choices. Progress is possible. Favor a relationship with people that see things as you do. So it's about connecting to our family of light, to family of love, to our family, our soul family, those people that vibrate and think the same way we do. It doesn't mean that we want to exclude anybody, but it's so we'll find great fulfillment in connecting with others that are sharing our thoughts, sharing our ideas, so we can enrich ourselves by communication and reciprocity. I thank you very much for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.